Hey guys, how's it going? Zach Ginn here, and welcome to my 4-part documentary on wholesaling real estate from A to Z. This is a very exciting one and probably one of the most daunting tasks I've ever done in my whole YouTube journey here, especially when it comes to real estate wholesaling. In this 4-part documentary series, I'm going to go behind the scenes for you and show you the entire wholesaling real estate process with a real wholesaling deal. I'm going to show you the HUDs. I'm going to show you everything from A to Z. This is a very daunting task because I'm going to be firing my acquisitions person, my transaction coordinator, my VAs, my dispositions people, and I'm really going to be doing a lot of the grunt work for you behind the camera here to show you the entire wholesaling real estate process. You're going to see me meeting with cash buyers, me going to title companies, me picking up checks. I want to show you me as a 21-year-old, I can still do this thing by myself. It's really going to be a very fun task, and this is filmed as a documentary series, a 4-part one, really Netflix style to show you wholesaling real estate can be fun. I'm going to show you my whole process if I had to do this all from A to Z by myself, and this is really exciting. So this 4-part wholesaling documentary is going to be really exciting. The first part in this episode, I'm going to show you and explain to you the entire wholesaling process. It's going to be very fun, very exciting, and really so you get a grasp of the wholesaling process if you're brand new to this business, and really going to show you my process of it. And then in the next 3 videos, I'm going to actually show you and hold your hand on a real wholesaling deal where I'm going to show you the appointment. I'm going to show you the contract. I'm going to show you exactly how we got it signed, how much of a deposit we left, what do you do after you sign the contract, the whole process. I'm going to share with you the numbers. On the next episode after that, I am going to physically meet with a cash buyer, a real flesh and blood cash buyer on an actual property walkthrough. I'm going to show you the texts, the calls, the conversations I had with the cash buyer, what I sent them over email to show them the pictures. I'm going to show everything. I'm going to get that assignment of contract signed, and I'm going to show you how much money I make on it. So I really got to pick one of the deals that we're doing right now in our real estate wholesaling business, not a wholesale or flip, an actual wholesale deal that we're going to do. And I'm going to pinpoint that. I'm going to choose that one. And then the last episode, we're going to do a deal walkthrough. I'm going to show you the actual check on it. We're going to go to closing day. I'm going to show you the whole process, the transaction coordinating, actually how to get the seller on board for everything. I'm going to show you my podio throughout the whole series. This documentary, hopefully, will be the most complete real estate wholesaling series ever done behind a camera. So I am very excited for it. This is a very daunting task. This is just going to be a very exciting one. This is a challenge for me. For the next 4 weeks, we're going to do the whole documentary series. It's going to come out like a very fancy Netflix one where every week I'm going to do a new episode on it until I get my wholesaling check, because it should take about a month for this whole real estate wholesaling process to be done. This is really cool. I'm going to go behind the scenes for you. I'm going to show you exactly what I would do to get a real estate wholesaling deal. And the cool part about it is, not like these gurus out here, I'm showing you the whole process right here. This is stuff that they will put behind a $4,000 or $5,000 paywall. I know no real estate wholesaling guru would do this because there's no money to be made on this. I don't make money doing YouTube channels. I don't make money doing films like this, but it's truly a passion of mine and something I truly believe in. Probably the only wholesaling person out there that gives this much free value and content out here, because I'm trying to put these real estate wholesaling coaches and gurus out of business. And that is truly my passion. That is something I want to do. This whole wholesaling process, and this process I'm going to show you right now in this episode, has changed my life for the better. Wholesaling real estate is one of the fastest ways to become a millionaire in under 2 years at any age, gender, race. It doesn't matter. Wholesaling real estate changed my life, and I'm here to help you out too. What is wholesaling? So wholesaling is basically the process of finding someone who wants to sell their house. We get a contract signed, and then we try to sell that contract for a profit. You think about it as a used car dealership. That's the best way I can describe it. Some other people describe it as maybe like a pawn shop of real estate or something like that, but I like to think about it as a used car dealership. Think about, you roll in a 2004 Honda Accord. It's super beat up. The paint is just disgusting. There's leaks on the front. The sunroof's cracking. There's cracks in the back of the window, and the thing makes a terrible sound. The transmission's terrible, and there's leaks on all the tires, and it's such a mess of a car. Someone rolls in the used car dealership, and they finally got a new job and some great money. And what are they going to do? that person who has that disgusting beat up car that's leaking oil and the gas is all messed up and it's really a dangerous car, what are they going to do? They have two real big options they can do. They can go pull up the VIN, they can go put it on Craigslist or put it on Auto Trader and pay a bunch of commissions, or try to sell it themselves and go meet with people in the back alley of a Starbucks and try to sell the car and do the negotiation, do a lot of stressful negotiations, try to deal with people just trying to underbid them on properties. And you got to deal with people who just want to list the car on the internet and get the most amount of money for it. And this person maybe has 2 kids, a job. They don't want to spend 5 hours a week trying to sell this dang stupid car that's probably worth $3,000 to $4,000. At most, they could probably get $6,000 to $7,000 for it, but at $4,000 to $5,000, it's not worth the hassle for them. Or when they're buying a car, there's a service out there that will just give them an easy cash offer of $4,000 for that car. It'll go towards the new purchase of their new vehicle, and they don't have to deal with the hassle, the stress. They don't have to pay a bunch of commissions on like Auto Trader or something like that. And honestly, they understand that they could sell it for more online, or bidding it up, or meeting with 10 different people trying to sell it for the most amount of money, and hopefully deal with the whole car registration process. You know, they don't want to deal with the title. They have to go to the DMV. They got to do all this crazy stuff to sell the car, and they just don't want to deal with it. They want to sign a couple quick paperwork and they don't have to deal with it. That is what we do for real estate wholesaling. We are the used car dealership. So in that example, if the car, let's say, is worth $7,000 and they offered $4,000, $4,500 for it, what they'll probably do is the car dealership would probably buy that, probably fix it up, put $500 to $600 in it, and really overall be about $5,000 into it and sell it for like $8,000, make $3,000. Do you think the person that sold that car is upset that they made a profit off of it? No, they did the title registration, they put all the money in the car, and really they're the experts on it, and they sold it for the best price because they're the experts in that field. Like a person trying to sell that beat up car, we as real estate wholesalers try to meet people who have messed up or beat up properties that need a lot of repair. They're very distressed and there's a lot of issues with that property. What we try to do is we try to meet these sellers. We actually agree on a price. We get paperwork done to actually try to buy that property for, let's say, an X amount of price. Let's say, for example, $100,000 is what we agree to buy a property for. They know it's beat up. They're willing to sell property at a discount and give some equity up to you for the speed and convenience of just selling it cash. They don't want to deal with a 6% commission. They know all the hassle of it. They know closing costs are up the roof, and they know the stress and really the anxiety of selling a property. And they just want to get rid of it cash, kind of like a pawn shop or the used car dealership. What we'll do is we'll agree for $100,000. Maybe the property is worth $120,000 or $110,000, $115,000. But remember, they got to pay 6% commissions plus another 1.5%. And you know, realtors, there's always a leeway in there. And really, there's a big holding costs on properties too. So if a property stays on the market for 10 to 12 months, there is thousands and thousands of dollars of just holding costs. You got to pay taxes, extra repairs that need to be done on the property. They'll probably get beat up on inspections, and they probably won't get the highest price possible. And it's a lot of stress. Think of the cost of if they had to move to a new property and they had to hold that mortgage and all the interest that they have to pay on there. They'll probably give up tens of thousands of dollars just holding up with a realtor. And in situations like that, we'll go in and maybe agree on $100,000 on that property. I'll go in and find someone who would buy that property for cash, usually someone who wants to buy it as a rental or they want to flip it. And I actually sell the contract. I don't sell the property, but I sell that contract to that real estate investor who wants to buy as a rental, let's say for $120,000 or $110,000. So if I agreed $110,000, I would assign that contract. Basically, I'm actually selling the contract, the rights for me to buy it to someone. And at the end of the day, I make $10,000 to $20,000. The seller there doesn't have to deal with the hassle of the property. They actually probably saved money going with me on this situation. They get the ease of a cash sale. I make $10,000 to $20,000, and the person buying the property who's going to flip it's probably going to make a lot of money too. So it's a win-win-win in this whole situation. Now, let me tell you out the bat, not every property is like this. You're not going to go find a $500,000 house that's really nice or a $100,000 house that doesn't need a lot of repairs or is very nice, and the seller is in a situation where they should probably sell it to the most money. The whole wholesaling process works when there's a seller who is willing, due to a circumstance, to give up equity for an ease of a cash sale. You don't see used car dealerships trying to give cash offers to Lamborghinis or Rolls Royces. They do it on the cars where the car's not worth much and the equity is not the biggest deal in the world. That's why most of the properties we do for wholesaling real estate are within $100,000 to $200,000 or even less. To really give up equity, it's not the biggest deal in the world. So that's how us real estate wholesalers make money. We find people who want to sell their property, who are very motivated to sell for cash. We call these people motivated sellers. Now, we find these people, we meet with them in person, or we'll do it over the phone, and that is called virtual wholesaling. From there, we'll agree on a price, we'll talk with them, we'll try to build what we call rapport, which is really a connection with that seller so we can understand their situation and agree on a price that works for me and them. I always tell the seller, hey, if you want the most money for this property, I'm not the person for it. I'm the person who will make the process very simple and easy. It's cash. But if you're looking for someone who wants to give you the most money for it, you should probably go with a realtor. Here's a realtor, give them a card and go from there. That is how you become very ethical in this business. If the seller understands that they're willing to give a discount for the ease of a cash sale, they don't have to pay commissions or title fees for it, and they understand that and they are still motivated to sell it for cash, hey, that's a win-win for us where we can make money and they can make money. You don't go to Chick-fil-A because you know it's the cheapest chicken sandwich out there. You know, it tastes great. It's very easy. I don't have to cook dinner. I can go out there to let's say Walmart, the cheapest place to get chicken. I can make all the stuff myself. It'll probably take me 6, 7, 8 hours to make one chicken sandwich. If I want to get the breading right and get the bread perfect and make my own little milkshake there and make waffle fries and cut it the perfect way. No, you go to Chick-fil-A because it's kind of expensive, but it's really simple. It tastes amazing and you don't have to spend hours and hours cooking, and it's really simple. It's really that process that we do with real estate. And that is the whole real estate wholesaling process. So really quick again, what we do is we find a person who wants to sell a property due to a motivating circumstance. It could be someone who lost their job or they're trying to relocate for jobs. They want to get out of the current state. They want to move. They want to downsize. They want to upgrade their property due to any other circumstance. Maybe it's a rental property for them and the tenant completely destroyed the property. A hurricane came by, the property went on fire. There's so many circumstances why someone would be motivated to sell a property. Due to any of those circumstances, any of that could happen. What we do is we go meet the person, we go shake hands, or we do this over the phone. You could do this process over the phone. You will make less money, but overall, I like to do it in person. And you go meet with the person, you meet with the seller, and you have a conversation with them. And if you both agree on a price for the property, what we do is we have a contract where we sign and we both agree that we'll buy the property for $100,000 or whatever price you agree on. To know what price you're going to make the most money on, you have to understand what the property would sell for to that end buyer, that person that's actually going to buy the contract for you. We can do that in a lot of ways. We can do something called finding comps or comparables around the area. Finding comps and comparables around the area is one of the best ways out there really to find how much the property is worth. So if it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,000 square foot property in the 44422 area code, we know that other 3-bedroom, 2-baths that are completely renovated are selling for $150,000. And we know this property needs about $30,000 in repairs. We can really sort of understand the property will be worth $110,000 to really $120,000. We're not going to get very complicated in this episode on this, but really that's how we figure out what the property is really worth. In the next episode, we're really going to break those numbers down really well. So if I could figure out, this is basically arbitrage. One of my favorite things out there is if the property is worth $120 and we put on a contract for $100,000, we can make $10,000 to $20,000. We're basically buying $100,000 bills for $90,000 to $80,000. That is amazing. Again, we're buying $5 bills for $3. It's the best thing you can possibly do. I mean, if I offered to give you a $5 bill for $3, you would take that every single day, right? And that's basically what we're doing. There's not a lot of risk in it because we can understand that. And we understand the whole real estate process that we can do it. And I did my first real estate wholesaling deal when I was 17 years old and I had no experience in this business. You don't need experience. You don't need to be a licensed realtor. You don't really have to be licensed at all. And I honestly don't recommend being licensed at all for the real estate wholesaling process. So what we do there is once we get a contract signed, we actually find that end buyer. Usually there's a lot of ways you can do it. So for example, for me to find one of these end buyers, I like going on Facebook and I'll show you the whole process on how to find cash buyers. But really those end buyers are what I said there called cash buyers. They're buying the property for cash. It's one of the best things out there and really exciting. So what we do is we'll go on Facebook, find that cash buyer, and what we'll do is write up an assignment of contract, which don't worry, guys, if you go to www.flipwithrick.com/contract, that is my free wholesaling contract and my free assignment of contract. Don't get too stressed out over that right now, but you can go there and actually look at it all. It'll really give you a look of what real estate contracts look like. From there, when we assign the contract, again, that's basically selling the contract to that cash buyer, we'll agree on there that will make $10 to $15 or even $20,000. From there, we'll actually go to the title company. I'll bring the paperwork to them. So in this whole example, I'll bring the original contract with that motivated seller to the title company. We'll find the cash buyer. We'll assign it and bring that assignment to the title company. And then at the end, the title company will run paperwork, make sure that they're the real owners of the property. And then what my cash buyer will do is they'll give the whole $120,000 to the title company. The title company then at the end on closing day, which is basically the end of the transaction, they'll give $100,000 that we agreed on to the motivated seller. And they'll give me a nice, pretty check for $20,000. That is the whole wholesaling process. You make $20,000 in 1 month. And remember, you're not limited to one deal per month. I do over 7 deals every single month, and I actually make over $1 million per year net profit in my real estate wholesaling business. Again, I have partners and we spend a lot of money in capital. We do house flipping in there. We do a lot of creative financing stuff, but this wholesaling real estate process can change your entire life. And this is really, really exciting stuff. So that was the wholesaling process from A to Z. I really hope you enjoyed this episode. And remember, if you like this video and subscribe. It means a lot to me. This whole film really is going to be really exciting. So next week, we're going to go through the next process here of me actually finding a real motivated seller, a real life one, going on the appointment, getting an actual contract signed. And then we're going to go break down that whole process, me doing comps, me figuring out what the property's worth. And then on the episode after that, we're going to go find the cash buyer. We're going to go meet with that cash buyer actually in person, which is going to be a little scary to do in front of a camera. This, I don't think really has been done at all. And that's going to be really cool. And at the end, we're going to go to closing day. I'm going to show you the actual check. That will be to me. Really, I have this whole process automated. I have employees that do this whole process for me, but I decided in this video, I want to go behind and actually show you, because you're comfortable with me, you understand my process. I want to show you what it's like to do it all by yourself. So this is really exciting, guys. I'm really pumped up. So again, this is Zach Ginn here, and welcome to the 4-part documentary series. Remember to like this video and subscribe. It helps the algorithm here, so this documentary gets shown to the world. Thank you guys so much. Have a blessed day. I can't wait to see you on the next episode.